You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, YNR fans. So next week's spoilers look really good. We have Ian Ward celebrating what he just got away with. And speaking of that, Phyllis Summers seems to be in bad shape after the crash. And Diane Jenkins is celebrating a big win. If you're new here, I'm Belinda from Soap Dirt, and please hit that subscribe button. And let's dive into these spoilers for next week, and be sure to come back tomorrow for our full roster of weekly spoilers. So let's start with Phyllis, and then we'll go to Diane, and I'm going to save the big villain, Ian, for last. I'm super excited about him, especially after seeing some new press photos that I'm going to show you and tell you about. So if you're current on your YNR episodes this week, you will know that on Thursday, Phyllis was run off the road by Jordan Howard on Ian Ward's orders. Then on Friday, Sharon Newman tells Nick Newman that she's the one that ran Phyllis off the road because she needed to shut her up because Phyllis kept telling people that she killed Heather. And again, this is another one of Sharon's blackouts. And so she thinks she's done it just like she thinks she killed Heather. And when Nick tries to comfort Sharon and is saying, no, you didn't do this, she gives him a full and detailed confession about how she hallucinated Cameron, how she plotted to poison Daniel, how she killed Heather, dumped her body, how she framed Daniel, and she says Phyllis was right. Sharon says she lied to Chance about the Daniel and Heather argument. Sharon says she ran Phyllis off the road, just like she attacked Heather while she was blacked out, because that is what Sharon emphatically believes. You know, before that, Nick and Chance had pulled Phyllis out of her burning car, and they sent her off in an ambulance to the hospital, and Nick let Summer know on Thursday that her mom was in the hospital and that she and Daniel needed to get there ASAP. And so that's where we pick up next week. Looks like they are with their mom at the hospital on Monday. So Summer is completely horrified. Phyllis is in the hospital bed. She's got an oxygen tube up her nose. No obvious burns that I can see. You know, she doesn't have the full mask on. She's not in a coma. Summer cannot believe this is happening. And so Dr. Elena Dawson is there. We knew Brittany Sarpy was back, and Daniel is asking her, is there some sort of treatment? Is there something that you can do for my mom? But Elena says that beyond stabilizing Phyllis and monitoring her vitals, there's not much more they can do for her. So just a little spoiler, the photos I'm going to show you in a moment of Ian and Jordan are from an episode that's going to air on or about December 9th. And in the same batch of photos, Phyllis is up and around being snarky as usual. In the background of these scenes, there's Christmas trees, there's Christmas ornaments. So it looks dire, but red is going to be just fine. A little barbecue triggered by crazy Jordan Howard is not going to stop Phyllis. All right, now let's talk about Victor and Diane. As I suspected, and you guys have heard me say here, she and Jack were just pretending to split up, which I'm excited about. I do like them. And Victor told Diane he would give her Glissade if she fired Kyle publicly at the wedding. And of course, you know, since Diane apparently had some hand in developing the product that Kyle stole from Jabot, she might actually have been able to ruin Glissade in court. So Victor's hands were kind of tied, and also he never cared about Glissade. That was just the cat toy, the jangling keys, the laser pointer to lure Kyle over to the dark side. So Diane fired Kyle at the wedding, as we saw, and then she and Jack revealed to Kyle that they pretended to split up to expose to him that Victor had been using him all along. But it looks like Jack, Diane, Kyle, and Claire are going to keep that secret until next week because of a conversation between Victor and Diane that happens in these spoilers for the week of the 18th. So Victor tells Diane he just sent her the signed papers transferring Glissade to her, and she wants confirmation just like that. And assuming Victor says yes, I wonder at that point if Diane is going to let him know that he accomplished absolutely nothing more than just wasting his money taking Glissade from Tucker. because Diane and Jack never split. Kyle is back with the Abbotts, and he sees very clearly what a snake in the grass that Victor is now, and Claire sees it too. So Victor's kind of hurt himself in Claire's eyes. Plus, in the end, all that means Victor never really got any revenge other than causing some squabbles for a couple of months among the Abbotts. And when that all comes out, I really hope that chaps Victor's backside. And I know Claire is going to take this back over to her mom and to Cole, who is no fan of Victor's, and none of this is going to do him any favors with his family. Now, if Lily and Billy can just find a way to get Chancellor away from Victor, then that would be pretty sweet, because that would kind of mess up all the plotting he's done for months. But for now, I don't have any spoilers on that. All right. The last tidbit for next week is about horrible Jordan Howard and the incredibly evil Ian Ward. The photos I'm going to show you while we talk about this are all press photos from CBS from an episode that should air on December 9th, assuming that they're taking 2 days off at Thanksgiving and that there are no other preemptions. Thanksgiving and Black Friday, they usually take off because sports and stuff. So you've seen on Thursday's episode that Jordan reported back to Ian that it went according to plan. So clearly, Jordan ran Phyllis off the road into the tree, and Sharon assumed that she did it. Still waiting to see exactly how they have driven Sharon off the mental health deep end. I'm guessing drugs, because Jordan has no issue, doing that type of horrible thing. And really, Ian is capable of doing anything. So we will have Ian and Jordan in their room at the shady no-tell motel. And she asks Ian, is it time to pop the champagne? And Ian laughs and he raises his glass. So this episode that shows that these photos are from is from 18 episodes from today, which is Friday the 15th. So Jordan and Ian are still hiding out at that point. Looks like they're still hiding out in the motel, wreaking havoc. And at this point, I would assume that poor Sharon is probably in Fairview Psychiatric. And, hopefully by that time they figured out something's been done to her and she's been drugged or something. Phyllis has survived the accident and she is probably feeling pretty smug, pretty justified. She's very certain that her accusations against Sharon are 100% accurate. Daniel's charges should be dropped ASAP, and that means Lucy can be home for the holidays, and that means that Jordan and Ian can move on to phase 2 of whatever awful plan that I'm sure they have cooked up to punish their individual and mutual enemies. And if I had to make a guess, I would say they are coming for the Newmans. One quick note, I hope you enjoyed Abby's big day, because you will be seeing less of her. Melissa Ordway confirmed she's been moved from contract to recurring, but with her happily ever after with Devon achieved, she doesn't have a lot going on anyway. We've got new villains and new plots moving to the front burner, but Mel Ordway also did thank fans for their concern and says she is still going to be on the show. She still wants to be there. She still is there. She's auditioning for other work since she's going to have a smaller role for now. And I mean, realistically, before the wedding, we weren't seeing her a ton anyway. They would pull her out now and then. It's not like Abby is typically front burner. So that's all we have. Come back tomorrow for our full weekly spoilers.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.